and tomorrow I'm the biggest bear out there, so be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Live to trade another day, live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Is it the bottom yet? I'm tryna buy up everything, not gon' get upset, just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future, up early just like a rooster, eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do, buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna, cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams, wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Don't be scared, G, like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress, fur and loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes, people hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious, shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age, life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared, what a imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all, hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair, man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Ether's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, another day, you lose some, another play, live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, another play.
Hey, what is going on, guys, gals, aliens, degenerate crypto enthusiast? Can't even get it out. Degenerate crypto enthusiast, welcome back, my friends, to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. We might be the only crypto live streamer that talks about the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10E new ticker Bitcoin the most out of anyone. We are also the only crypto influencer that's going to tell you to buy gold and silver to build a diversified portfolio in gold and silver and also digital assets to survive the next, I don't know, space age. You might be joining Space Force in the next few years, my friends, with the power of Elon Musk and his reusable rockets. What's going on, my friends? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell to be notified, and we're going to get the show on the road. We're going to be talking about the obvious thing that's happening today. We have the feds cutting the rates. We have an FOMC meeting. We're going to have the FOMC minutes after. We're going to have Jerome Powell having his talk. Everyone's going to be wondering what he's going to say, if he's going to be hawkish, dovish. Is he going to be swooping down like a hawk, or is he going to be flying softly like a dove? We will see. But everyone, grab your coffee, get your drinks, and let's get the freaking show on the road. All right, so please, guys, do me a favor and just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the things that are evangelistic for this live stream to go viral. Okay, now, Bitcoin is just playing along to all the, quote, narratives that are around surrounding Bitcoin. We have Michael Saylor traveling the world, going to the Middle Eastern countries, talking to all these sovereign wealth funds to encourage them to start considering a allocation into Bitcoin. And so he's working for his bags, I will say. So if anyone is working for their bags more than anyone, it's Michael Saylor with Bitcoin, and then also it's more light for ticker Bitcoin, because he's shilled one coin this entire time. So who's shilled only one coin this entire time? Michael Saylor with Bitcoin, more light with ticker Bitcoin. So shout out to more light. And I'd say we've been pretty good at our track record of shilling the same meme coins for the longest time. We've maybe varied off and had some ADHD here and there, but primarily we've stayed pretty true. Look, ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu, Pepe, Wojak, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Ponky. We've pretty much stayed pretty on point with the memes that we've quote shilled, or we've just told you we've either accumulated some at all different points, or we've just thought the chart was bullish, or we really liked the community or the narrative or the push behind it. So, and if you've watched this channel long enough, I'm telling the truth. So, but let's get into real quick before we get into Bitcoin. Let's talk about MicroStrategy and how this chart looks right now. I mean, MicroStrategy, I think people were expecting it to, for some reason, like crash and go down into like $44, or they're just going to get margin called. Bitcoin's going to go to 60K. Like, everyone was prepared for this to happen. Instead, they're not prepared and not having a scenario of Bitcoin going over $135,000 and then MicroStrategy just cranking up to $1,300. So this actually probably matches up to, if you go to the all-time high and pull a fib to the low here, you can pull it to the low here, you can pull it to the last support low right here, and these levels match up perfectly with the Fibonacci extensions. So if you want price targets right now for MicroStrategy, you have the 1618, which is $836. You have one that's the 2618, which is $1,284. And then I think in the quote, like, peak of this bull run in our extended super cycle, we could see a MicroStrategy at $2,000. So, and you're thinking, you're insane. And I'm thinking, no, it's just look what's happened with the fundamentals before with Bitcoin and also with MicroStrategy, especially when they adopted their strategy, which was in August of 2020, or sorry, August of 2021. I think that was when they adopted their Bitcoin strategy. Either, I can't remember exactly if it was August 2020 or August 2021, but it was August of one of those years right there, before the Bitcoin halving or after it. I cannot remember, but either way, it definitely worked, and it proved, as the first publicly traded company to acquire Bitcoin on the balance sheet, that you can basically generate yield and also be able to borrow a lot of money and use the debt system essentially if you can get it at a low interest and acquire Bitcoin to beat inflation. Because if you're not beating the inflation rate and knowing that the inflation rate's going to crush you, if you're a smaller company, then you can go into something that's Bitcoin, but it's going to be a little volatile. So I think MicroStrategy is still something to watch. And what's really fascinating is that you look at NVIDIA and MicroStrategy, they're both around the same price. And Palantir is the same price, 184, 186. All these stocks are under $200 right now. You have Robinhood at 135. Let's see what else. Circle. You got, these are the stocks that I'm watching. I'm watching Circle, which is minting the USDC, one of the top stable coins, the second largest stable coin by market cap. Then you have Coin, which is Coinbase. This is public, traded company Coinbase. You have Tesla, which is basically investing in the robots going into houses, and space money, and basically betting on Elon, like succeeding. Which that if you've done that so far, you've done very well. Palantir is like government contract, maybe New World Order type stuff. So I don't know if you want to invest in that, but that's probably going to do pretty well also. Then you have MicroStrategy's preferred stocks that are offering 8% yield indefinitely. MicroStrategy or Michael Saylor was explaining that like some of these preferred stocks are you get you get yield generated indefinitely through holding some of these preferred stocks, and it's still you're being able to get some type of quote stability with the risk of Bitcoin because you're not buying Bitcoin directly, which I would just recommend as just like if you're going to have exposure into crypto, why not just hold the asset, But there's going to be thousands of people that don't want to download the wallets. They don't want to do the thing. They just want to okay, they have a 401k, they have an investment account, and maybe they have a couple $100,000 and they want to just get some exposure. Guess what? There's all the ETFs. That's when we're going to get into the ETFs. You notice BlackRock is starting to pony up on the Ethereum ETFs and the Bitcoin ETFs, more so right now on Ethereum. So these other institutions are actually buying more Bitcoin and inflowing into the ETFs more than BlackRock is right now, and BlackRock is focusing on Ethereum. Then we have on the other side here, Solana is getting a lot of attention, and there's there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Solana ETFs. Now we are going to have XRP is going to have an ETF, but they are also going public with an IPO with a $40 billion valuation that is going to be hitting Wall Street here pretty soon. So why I'm pointing out the stocks, the ETFs, the public going public on Wall Street, it's access to liquidity and capital, which was gate kept from crypto for the longest time through the institutions. And so now what we have is a perfect setup of all of stuff like this. I'll show you. It's really, really cool. So Office of the Control of the it's OCC. The OCC now allows U.S. banks to act as crypto intermediaries. So what this is a sign of increasing regulatory acceptance for crypto and traditional finance. So we've been talking about this for years, months now, that the banks are going to eventually want to have a piece of the pie being crypto custodians and the mediary, that they want to be the third party to get a piece of the pie so they don't lose customers. Because essentially, once some people and a big group of people start to realize that they can just do all of their banking with lower fees, they can just get their paycheck direct deposited right into some app, and they can just do all internet online banking without even using the bank. That is a disruptive thing for the banking system. And they're like, no. We need to be able to have, for our customers to have the same quote experience. So Told you guys, you're going to see Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, all the big banks are going to have a digital wallet or a way that you could hold your Bitcoin and all that stuff and stable coins inside of their app. Then you're going to see Apple. Apple's going to have it incorporated in their phone and in some type of wallet at here soon. Apple always, because they are disruptive technology and company as well, they always hit the market with whatever is the trend. They hit it hard. And I think they signified it pretty well with the orange phone. Think about the orange phone that they released, and then think about the connections of what they're trying to hint at us. At least that's what I think. But I don't know, guys. I'm happy you're here. Thank you for being here. This is kind of like we wanted to get some clips. We have Bitcoin. Let's see. Yeah, BlackRock, that was the one thing. BlackRock files application with the SEC for staked Ether ETF. So this is, if you look at Farside's Ethereum ETF staking here, BlackRock has had this, and Fidelity and Grayscale were the first, and then all of these other ones came afterwards. But look at the staking. They all want to have staking capabilities and earn and generate yield, which means the longer you stake it, the longer you hold in the pool, the more money that's generated and the less sell pressure could be put into, quote, the chain and have more of a generating long-lasting macro yield. Institutions and the big players, they want to be able to do this over years, periods of time. This is what makes me think about crypto for the long term, getting into a market cap valuation where we start looking at where we think crypto is going to be valued at is at around 7 trillion coming up here soon. But ultimately, the getting up to 14 trillion, 15 trillion alone should be Bitcoin and ETH valuation. And then go under that, you got everything else excluding total 3, excluding Bitcoin and ETH should be at 7 trillion. You got the stable coin market alone is projected in the next 2 years to go up $3 trillion into being minted and liquidity coming into the chains, which would be chains like these. When you go into DeFi Llama and you start to look at the chains that are used for stable coins, you go to stablecoin market cap, and then look, ETH, Tron, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, Base, Hyperliquid, Arbitrum, Polygon, Avalanche, Aptos, Ton, Mantle, Sui. All these have close to over $500 million of stable coins being minted, and it's getting, look, XRP, the XRP ledger with the XRPL stablecoin, that's starting to get some traction. This was pretty low, but now it's getting up to over $500 million. Pretty crazy. But ETH is still taking the cake. $168 billion, getting up to over close to $500 billion of stables minted on Ethereum. It's a lot of dough. And you don't think ETH is going to go to 20K at a point? This is, you have to have a little bit more long-term macro outlook. But I hope you do. Let's hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. That would be much appreciated. That would be much appreciated. So why I titled the live stream American Bitcoin Bull Run is that if you see the connections of not just the aspect of the scarcity of Bitcoin, because it's 21 million coins, you have to think about what is going to power the network after all of the coins are mined. Because the Bitcoin halving lowers the rewards that the miners get for solving the transactions, and they get rewarded with Bitcoin. But at a point, you can't mine any more Bitcoin, and the rewards get halved every 4 years. So that is always going to be in the code. That never can change. And the only way you can, quote, change it is if you want to fork the chain, and that's what's happened with Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Then you can also kind of copy it and fork it and have your own kind of different consensus, but would try to do it cheaper, which is Litecoin, all that stuff. But essentially, Bitcoin still is the strongest network and global verified transactional nodes that's happening on a global scale. It still is the most decentralized in that way. So what America, I think, is doing is they are going to establish the biggest mining operations in the world that are going to go and compete against China, all the different countries that have any type of operations of mining already set up. We are going to, I think, try and trump, pun intended, everyone on this, and it's fueled by the Trump brothers and all these different companies that are mining Bitcoin in America and setting up all these things, American BTC, and they're going to be mining the transactions way after the fact that all the Bitcoin is being mined. So do you get it? And if the end game thing that the Bitcoin maxis think is going to happen is that, like, think Da Vinci always says Bitcoin's going to be the money. It will be the money. Maybe it's not going to be, quote, maybe always the money that we transact with, like, on a daily basis. That's still up for question and debate. Because obviously, like, the main network, you can't do that. It's too slow. So you have to use the Lightning Network. You have to use a different network. You have to use a layer 2 Bitcoin network to be able to truly have it transact in the way that we would want it. And that was always the use case and the argument for having Litecoin or Dogecoin or all the other different types of blockchains that are faster. That would be the argument for Solana. But they all are still going to operate together, I believe, because Bitcoin might be a different type of settlement, treasury settlement, governmental, type of settlement layer to be able to be used as, like, the settlement base layer for verifying all types of, like, high level transactions. And think about it, how the government's operating right now. They're getting all this legislation set up for crypto to be operating with stable coins with states to be able to buy Bitcoin, and Senate and Congress are going to be voting on the structure bill to be able to then just do the Bitcoin standard, essentially. So America is going to be mining it wants to be the dominant miner of the transactions, because it doesn't matter. I mean, the pools and the mining pools are going to be, quote, focused in different areas, but imagine we as America are getting most of the hash rate, because the hash rate and all of the is dependent on where most of the nodes are operating. So it could be more focused in an area, maybe like China. It was more focused in China. Maybe it was more focused in certain areas of the world. So it starts to be more heavily focused and more hashed in America, which makes all these companies a crap ton of money, because you're still getting Bitcoin fees from the transaction. So, because a question that someone asked me before was like, well, what happens when all the Bitcoin's mined? What's the point of the miners? I was like, well, because the network still has to operate. It operates through them mining the transactions, because when people send and receive, it takes the miners to verify it. So that's not going to stop unless there's an asteroid, like blows everything up. So I think that's what the end game is here for America. Compound with, I watched those videos with Cynthia Lummis. We go to the video of Cynthia Lummis explaining that we're going to sell the gold certificates that we hold for Bitcoin. I don't know if we're going to sell all the gold, but I mean, I think we have a lot of gold. I think as America, we have a crap ton of gold. And this is essentially, I think that might be the plan. I think this is why Michael Saylor is so hell-bent on becoming the legend he already is, but a lot of the times legends and people that go down in history as like absolute legends get the most FUD, you know? They always get the most FUD. And non-believers, but then also people that do believe as well. And Michael Saylor is this person right now because he is taking a massive risk doing what he's doing, because he was the first company to, quote, take that risk to save his company. Not just to save himself, but he had employees, he had people, he had all these people that were eventually going to, quote, and were poached, because the story, if you listen to the story of Michael Saylor and his company, where, during all those times, like COVID, whatever, like he wasn't able to like keep up and not have some of his best people get poached by the big guys, So only time will tell, and we just have to kind of play. We have to play the game too. But it seems like a lot of families right now, companies are betting on America being the dominant crypto AI technological driving force in the entire world. So let's see if we can be in the right places, right? Let's see if we can be in the right places. All right, so let's go into some trending coins. Let's see what's trending right now on the market. In terms of on-chain gainers, trending, we'll go to trending, and let's see what's trending on on Ethereum right now, or just all networks. Like, let's see what's trending on all networks. Recently, Mr. Beast on X posted and said, "Hey, what would should I host a competition of the 30 best memes?" He didn't say meme coins, but he said 30 best memes, and I'll give away $600,000 or something like that. So I'm sure, like, obviously he posted that on X, so people are gonna make some kind of meme coin thing about it, or connected to a meme coin competition. Pippin has been one of those coins. I think it got caballed, went right up there into the top with Fart Coin and Trump Coin as liquidity on Sol. So that's been taking a lot of attention right now. So we have this Mr. Beast Beast on base coin. Let's see how many holders. I don't know. Is there that many holders? 698,000. Was that like an airdrop? Okay. Then I told you guys there's a turtle meta happening right now. We have Franklin the Turtle on Sol as one of the coins that is catching attention right now. The Met Meteora. So if you guys know, Meteora was one of the routers that and DEX pools that was used for a long time on Sol, but obviously didn't have a token yet. Radium and Orca and a lot of other dexes had a token and released and airdropped a token very early on, and Met just recently, just about a month or two ago, released their token, and the launch was kind of not as great. So, but we'll have to see how this happens, how this goes over the long term. A lot of pools are set up on Meteora, liquidity pools. So you have liquidity pools set on Meteora, Orca, Radium, and then you have the ones that are coming from PumpSwap, which are having their own liquidity pool set up, and there's a few others. But those are the main ones. Now, like I said, Radium, that's trending right now. We got Zora, Radium on Sol. Zora is the social media tokenization project and platform and app on Base. So if you're bullish Base, then Zora is something you're paying attention to. Let's see. Horizon. I've been seeing this as so privacy wise, this would be in your radar if you like privacy coins. The chart on Zen looks really good right now. So we pulled this up before. The chart on this looks really good. I was seeing the whales accumulate this one, so it makes sense that it's in this list. Let's see something else that we're familiar with. Yeah, pudgy penguins. That one, the chart got nuked. So, so if you're bullish pudgy penguins, then you would have some Pingu. Only thing about Pingu is that 50% of the token supply is held by the top 10 wallets. Don't like that. Solana on base, actually, funny enough. Remember, you can buy Solana on a lot of different chains. Fartcoin is getting back up there. Let's see what else is trending. We got Brett on base. Bonk. Troll. Arbitrum on Arb. And let's look, we got okay, Mooding on Sol, Optimism on Opchain. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. So, but you really just, I think my best advice is to narrow it down, get good at what you already know, and just don't get too distracted by too many things, because by the end of this quote run, super cycle, whatever, when things start getting euphoric, and you know, it's always, there's a time where we start to get into the time where things get really crazy and exciting. And I would just hope that you didn't have like a million tokens and only have $50 worth of like each of these 100 tokens that you discovered. I would feel a lot better having a good list of fundamental tokens, maybe at max 15, 20 tokens that you really focused on, you understand them, and you got like a few $1,000 in each of those. Because time and money in the market always beats trying to like move around and scratch off ticket, type of mentality, gambling mentality in the market. So just make sure you're going into that and into your journey with knowing that always time and money in the market beats timing and trading the market. And I've had to learn that lesson the hard way over the past 4 years. All right. So let's see how many people are watching on X. See, X has been doing way better. X on the algorithm has been killing it. YouTube, that's a whole nother story. YouTube is just like, I don't know what happened. YouTube is just like going downhill. The only people that come back on YouTube now is lasers. Yeah, Tony Trump came in. That's good. We got Scottish Crypto. We haven't seen you in a little bit. But yeah, YouTube has just been oh yeah, we got Jason Crypto in the house. Let's go. We got Jason Beats. What's going on? Jason, I hope you're doing well. I know you said you got like a new job and stuff like that, so I hope your job is going well. I hope you've traded less. It's good to see you guys. I appreciate it. Normally we don't stream at this time, but I said, you know what? I really want to get on here and just start streaming. Want to just start getting right into it. So we know the Feds are going to cut the rates today. That's not the question. And the curiosity is if Jerome Powell is going to play ball for the estimate for the rates for Jan. So look, because there's a 74% chance that there's going to be no change in January. Then you got a 57% chance that they're not going to cut in March either, and that they're going to continue potentially to quote not have still quantitative tightening going into the rest of his term, because his term is not ending until May. He could cut the rates on December and then literally not cut, and they could not cut the rest of the next meetings. So it could get pretty interesting the next few months, but really I don't think that changes the narrative for crypto. Like, it doesn't change the fact that, like, you know, no one knows what digital assets really are. They don't really understand network effects. They maybe experienced it. We lived through network effects of the internet and different internet web-based protocols and different programming languages and different ways of interacting with each other through social media and the forums. You know, just the meme culture, like the social media culture, like going from Instagram, TikTok, short attention span, short form clip content. Just, yeah, like, we've lived through all of the network effects. The fact of the matter is that you didn't invest in those over the past 10 or 15 years. You just participated in it and were the user and the one that was paying for it all. And your data was sold to all the big companies during it. Now, the difference is that Web3 gives you the opportunity to invest in the settlement layers that are happening all around the world. That's the difference here. But retail and normies don't look at it that way. They just look at crypto as a scam. If you look at the entire world as a Ponzi scam built on dead and nothing, there is no freaking spoon, then you wouldn't even say that. You'll just go, okay, this is a more verifiable scam and I can see what's happening. So that's kind of how I look at it, because then if you're like that, then you'll just be like the anarchist skateboarder that's like, yeah, bro, like, I'll invest, man, but, you can have that, man. I just like, like the system, man, and like everything's a scam, bro, like with money, and, money's just like an ideology where, like, No, everything is rigged. Yes, we know this. But so, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the rigging that is happening? It's called investing in cryptocurrency. It's called crypto. It's the bleeding edge culture, technology, and settlement. This is it. This is the coolest thing. This is it. There's nothing else cooler. There's nothing else that that I think, if you're wanting to learn about money, which you're going to need to, because everyone needs money to be able to pay rent and pay for food and all the things that you need. And eventually, because I've always proven the point, like, everyone's using these things and they're setting up for everything to go in space to be powered by the sun and solar. Everyone's worried about EMPs and all this stuff, but they don't realize that there's wireless Tesla power that's going to be literally sent from... why do you think they keep shooting rockets up in space and putting satellites and all these things orbiting and getting and doing data power centers and all this stuff in space? They're ready for any type of scenario to keep the thing going, by the way. Anything. When you talk to someone or you want their contact now, all you got to do is just, you don't even have to type it in anymore. You just go boop and you wirelessly boop it with someone else's phone. And then the iPhone does this little animation. It goes, it's literally just, and it's already like that in a sense with digital cash, with Venmo and all that stuff. But then just take it to the next level, and it's just going to continue to keep innovating and going that route. You notice all the apps now have added cash. Phantom has cash now, where you can do digital cash and you can send it to @names. MoonPay has that. You can do the @name with MoonPay. They're called Moon Tags. Who else is adding the cash feature? Man, a bunch of. I think Revolut. Speaking of bullish news, Revolut, millions of people in Europe with Revolut, XYO just announced that they're available to trade on Revolut. So, did we bookmark it or did we? I think we might have just. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So XYO is now listed on Revolut. So recently XYO was up like 45%. So I think the whales were like knowing, they were like, all right, you know, we're getting listed on Revolut, and we have this major partnership with I think it was XBeat, which is an IP registering protocol. This is one of the world's biggest financial platforms, just opened access to XYO. So this is 65 million plus users in nearly 50 countries. You can now buy, hold, and trade XYO right from an app you already use for everyday finance. So the Revolut app is like, it's kind of like an everything app in terms of an app. I mean, obviously we don't use it here. It's a UK based app. So, but this is good. This is great. A lot of exposure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, these apps like are just becoming like where people don't even have to like walk into a bank. Everything is done online. Everything is done, you know, and all kind of like a one-stop shop thing. And I think that's what eventually X is wanting to be turned into, is a quote, one-stop shop thing for your news, your entertainment, your posting, your finances, all that stuff. There's a jobs board. You name it, you can do spaces, trying to make it like an everything app. Pretty crazy. All right, shout out to the Sprotos. Merry Christmas to all of the Sprotos. And the Sprotos right now, the Sproto Gremlins are really cheap. Like, if you're wanting to buy a Sproto right now, they're basically like, they are going for pennies compared to what they were going for in the peak of the fun times in NFTs. There's always fun times and ebbs and flows in the NFT space, and this peaked out at 4 ETH floor. So 4 ETH floor when ETH was around 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. So now imagine we go to 10 ETH, but ETH is like at 6K. You know, that's kind of how you have to think about acquiring these culture phenomenons, which are the NFTs. And just to remind you guys, the Beeple, who is the most famous digital artist right now, and arguably the most famous artist in general right now in the world of art and bleeding edge culture stuff, his favorite NFT project is the Sproto Gremlins. His favorite coin is Bitcoin, Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. So, I mean, that's just like, I love the connection, and I just hope that your favorite coin gets the most famous artist to like it as well. But look at these things. A lot of these are really good at capturing certain people's personalities, which is great. Like this dude looks like the freaking Despicable Me guy. And maybe you have a nose that looks like that. Maybe your eyes look exactly like that, and this is what you look like when you get a little cheeky. So would you spend $1,175 on this thing to basically immortalize the digital NFT crypto cypherpunk version of yourself? But you always want to buy 2 or 3, because you might get so attached to the one that you'll never sell it, and unless someone offered you like an insane amount, like $1 million, but you would sell the other 2 that you have. So you adopt, so you really marry one and you adopt 2, and then you send the other you send the other 2 off when it's time. The ones that I attract to are the ones that have glossy eyes. A little bit of a glossy eye. Amulets. A lot of them have amulets. And I really like the ones that just have clean lines. Very good clean hedgehog head for the Sproto. And it's just just there's just different Sprotos that have a cleanness to it. So for instance, like that one, I wouldn't consider it to be super clean, but it is a Cyclops. So it has the single eye. So that does have a rarity to it in a sense. Like, so you got so there are no rarity traits in Sprotos. There's only ones that you consider to be a rarity trait. So obviously different colored backgrounds are a rarity trait. Cyclops are a rarity trait. Amulets are a rarity trait. The hedgehogs, cat ears. So you have the ears, because some have the actual like more so like a cat ear. Like, oh yeah, here's like or like a hedgehog ear. And you got the ones that are like this. They're like really like I don't care. Yeah. Then you got the ones that just like look like they're business oriented, you know, a little bit more analytical, but they're fun, you know, like this is like, you know, Mike is fun at the after party, the office after party. He's got a lot of jokes. He kind of laughs like Goofy, you know, like this is the guy, you know. Now this dude, he's wild. Like you might not want to bring him to the party, because he's gonna get everyone to maybe huff the balloons, the helium out of the balloons. But you get the point. You know, all of them have their types of personalities, but I think the Sprotos do the best at pulling those out of people. Yeah, the floor right now for the Sprotos is currently $758. I mean, come on. That's such a good floor price. So like right now, you can get 3 Sprotos for about $2,500. And at peak price, they were at 4 ETH floor. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, we got some more people in here. Let's go. Currently, right now, we're talking about the Sprotos. It's a steal. We got Jinxie. We got Jinxie J in the house. What time is it in the where are you? Malaysia? Or where are you again? You're like in the you're in the middle of nowhere on some Asian island somewhere. You're like, I'm literally like you're like, I'm floating on a rice paddy as we speak. Yeah, shout out to Jinxie J. We're just gonna call you Jinxie J. Algo, and shout out to Headband as well. We had Headband on the spaces. We pulled up a space and we were testing out opening up a spaces because I didn't know if X was gonna allow me to stream live. So if I'm live, a video live, and I can hold a space at the same time, which is actually really cool. I didn't think it was gonna let me do that. So shout out to X for letting me hold a space and be live at the same time on the same account. Yeah, let's go to JinxieYJ.eth. I think one of the best artists on the timeline right now and of Sprotos. Just really they do some really good work. Oh, yes. Real quick before I forget, I wanted to go through this lore. I don't know if you guys know about this card game, but it's freaky. The guy that created this card game called Illuminati New World Order made it in 1994. This guy is one of the writers for The Simpsons. And you know about how The Simpsons has predicted all of these different crazy scenes, which are sometimes scenes that are like not super significant, but scenes that are just like, okay, you know, like one of them was Trump and Melania coming down an escalator, okay? And it's some you know, busy mall or some area, and The Simpsons predicted that on point. They've predicted certain clothes and colors and certain scenes. I mean, to the freaking T. It's freaky. It's crazy how they do it. But it's this, like we've told you guys about the matrix and the programming and the predictive programming. They tell you what they do. They're going to tell you what they're going to do first, and then they do it. But is it also some type of magic ceremony using the way that they understand magic, which is a lot of the times in using dark magic, is being able to then have the things happen. And so this game has all these cards of events that have happened. Stormy Daniels lawsuit. There's a card for Stormy Daniels. There's a card for the Trump. Look, the ear. Look at this. This is a bullet going to the ear. They had one. This is the biggest one. These are the craziest ones. Is the prediction of the 9/11 attacks for the towers and the Pentagon. There were cards for that as well, and this is the big one, was the epidemic, the cards for COVID. This card seems to use the Bitcoin logo. But this account, though, this account loves doing the deep dive lore. But this one is crazy, though. Just this game alone and the cards that are in this game are it's crazy. Oh, and not to mention, there is a Frog King card in this card game. If I bet I posted it. I posted about it. Let me see if I still have it. I like when I type in the Illuminati, more light pops up. Is he part of the Illuminati? What do you think? Pepe card. It was like a Pepe card. It was the Pepe Frog King card. I might have to just search for it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me find it, because it's really crazy. Let me just search raw for it. The Pepe King card. Oh, these are Pepe card. Oh, they're the Pepe cards. Forgot about those. The rare Pepes. Rare Pepe cards as well. I have to find the Pepe King. It's really cool. It's let me see. So The Frog King card. Not. Found it. Found it. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. This is wild. It's called the Frog God. The Frog God. And the card reads, the idols are both frightening and silly, and no one knows why the masters keep them around. You may interfere with a privileged attack on either side. No other players may interfere unless they use other special cards. Interference is an action for each group, and use of this card is an action for the Frog Guard. So it's a magic artifact. But look at this. We talked about this in one of our videos that no one freaking watched. About instead, like only like 30 people saw it because YouTube's an asshole. Anyway, the video's cool too. I think it's a good video. But just because I think it's a good video doesn't mean other people do. I talk about this concept of people making offerings to these things, and it's literally what the meme coins are, and what, like, say something like Pepe or Doge, even Bitcoin itself, ticker Bitcoin. And it's really interesting, all the different, like, symbology, mythology, the connections, all of the symbols and these archetypes and images are connected in some type of way. It's pretty crazy. So you see the people giving offerings to the frog. You can see it's inside this shell, representing kind of like the, the birth, the kind of representing almost like the Venus, in the oyster shell. Pretty wild. We talked about the contract lore the other day. We talked about the contract lore of 69. So OX69 with Pepe. And how that spurred. This is what spurred the Pepe the Frog, spurred the whole meme craze back to life. It basically made meme coins great again. And there's something there. I think there's something there. And so we're gonna bet and have speculation into these lore, into the contract lore. Because imagine when Ethereum is at $10,000. You think these things are just gonna sit idly by? Absolutely not. I don't think that's the game we're playing here. I think look at the liquidity here too. That's the thing. That's why when you look at liquidity on ETH memes, it's going to be the less sold liquidity pool out of any of the memes that are on any other chain. You can't get out as fast, but also there's more liquidity and more of a supply that you're going to be able to hold compared to most, that you're going to be able to actually get out and make $1 million. You could actually sell the coin with low slippage. You could sell Pepe and some of these ETH meme coins when they're at their heights with not as much slippage as what you would be paying for some of these other coins and the money that you're making. Do you get what I mean? It's because there has been the thing that happens to people is they have, quote, $1 million portfolio, but it's of illiquid coins. They can't sell them, or you're going to sell them and you nuke the chart and you're paying 30% slippage. And so that's why people that were SHIB millionaires, or certain people, like, this is the thing, like, Shibtoshi is a perfect example. Shibtoshi was able to cash out close to probably almost $1 billion of profit in Shiba Inu, and he still has billions or millions in the coin. But because he actually made so much that it was an astronomical amount, like insane amount, got to block my damn identity like level of money, that he doesn't have to ever work. Quote, like he's got unlimited ETH now. It's kind of how it happened, but he only was able to do that because of SHIB. It was a $90 billion liquid coin that went to the freaking moon. It was the same with Doge. So this is how I look at some of these Ethereum memes. Still have those fundamentals, and SHIB and Doge did the same thing that these are doing, where people were like, yep, they went down 90%, whatever. They were killed into the ground. And then all of a sudden, on the last leg of the run, the last 9 weeks is where it freaking ripped people's faces off. Ripped people's faces come clean off. Pull up the ship. Yeah, if you hit the like button if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. There's like 5 people, so you probably do know what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. Yeah, if you buy a Sproto from the floor, it just kind of solves itself out. You know, if you want to bet on your own success, then you just buy a Sproto. They said if you like your own post, it damages it. If you like your own post, you're not supposed to like your own post. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. You can't even be bullish on your own post. They penalize you already. Like even if your post isn't getting any likes and you want to be the first one to like it, they penalize you and then they don't put you in the algorithm even more. Nikita, you suck. All right. So key drivers of today is the Fed hype. Cuts priced in, but Powell's pressure could spark fireworks. Hawkish vibes, no cut for the short term in January. Like we said, dovish means alt rotation. We get BTC pumping, then we get the speculation running into ETH. Then ETH is pumping, Sol goes. Then the memes and all the underlining stuff that people are holding starts to go. We got AI Griff in the house. Let's go. Hey, you guys send me your address. Can you send me your address? AI Griff was the lucky winner of this hat. We have there's so many cool merch items with ticker Bitcoin, but this one's really cool. So we got this fresh from the meetup. So yeah, we don't have any trades open right now. We're not doing any trading. We're just trying to get more money into the market. We believe that if you can get just a couple $1,000s into each coin you like and understand, that will outperform any type of quote trading, put it in a short, no thinking you're going to time the market, because time and money in the market is going to always 95% of the time beat trading and you think and you know what's going to happen. I think the slow, steady, boring game is probably going to be the one that outperforms everything. So if you could just get $2,000 into Solana, $2,000 in, get a whole ETH, try and get a whole ETH. Right now is still the best opportunity to acquire an entire ETH. And then you could go down the list and say, hey, if I can get $2,000 of some Bitcoin, that even feels good. You're like, hey, that's $2,000 more than 90% of people in the world right now that are even not even thinking about crypto. You're already ahead of the game. So just and knowing that you can still keep going down the list and say, if I get $1,000 into AVAX, $1,000 into Chainlink, gosh, I mean, this stuff is so cheap right now, and people if they've looked at the charts long enough, like we have, you would be salivating at the fact that these things are so cheap. It's ridiculous. So we just have to be playing the long game, and just $5,000 right now into a diversified portfolio of crypto can do some freaking damage. It really can. We've seen it in our own portfolio, but with that comes risk, comes volatility. You have to know what your plan is, your strategy. We've seen a portfolio that started with $2,000-$3,000 go over $10K in a span of 6 months, or less than that. I mean, it was like, so you kind of are like, whoa. And that's why a lot of people didn't sell their portfolios in January. If you started investing just a few months before the Trump pump, things were going kind of parabolic. And so it's like, even if you caught it halfway up, your portfolio was like, and you probably weren't expecting it. So you're like, you're not going to sell. You were like, I just invested. I'm going to sell right now. Jesus. And so a lot of people just held and they kept buying. Like I gave the example, like a lot of people probably actually started doubling down still and weren't even selling. They were like, oh, I'm going to keep buying more. And so they saw their portfolios go from maybe a 5-figure, 6-figure portfolio right back down into it being worth like a couple $1,000s. And so you either were like, okay, you either sold at a loss and really took a hit, or you're just going to hold. You just continue to hold. You just, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you're going to sell at a loss. I mean, why? Like, you just hold. You just hold. And you learn that through the cycles, that eventually the bear markets don't last as long as the bulls. The bulls always win the war over time. The bears win the short battles, and they only last, if you're going to compare it to the stock market, 10 months max for bear markets. And then it's a 52-month growth rate of a bull afterwards. So no matter what, there's always been a higher rate in average of recovery than there's been doom and downturns. And so it really is like that now with crypto, where this is the most disruptive technology to hit the financial system ever. And retail is not buying it. They still think it's a scam. And so we have a massive opportunity to, just like I was explaining earlier, like if you were thinking, man, everyone's going to be using social media, everyone's going to be like doing all this stuff and connecting their accounts to all these services, so I should be investing in Amazon and anything that's doing internet like based, marketing, whatever, just all the stuff that's connected in the network effect. Like, you are investing in that, you are front running so much stuff. And so when we're investing in crypto right now, I still think we're front running billions of people that are just like that it's crazy. So if we get enough money in here and we're patient enough and we can hold through the volatility, man, we're going to be massively rich, and we're going to be able to do whatever the heck we want with our liquid internet money. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. I don't think we have anything else. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. That's pretty much it. Divorce Dad's card game is funny. Unless you guys want to unless we want to continue live streaming, we'll do a little we can do a Q&A. We can do a Q&A. AI Griff is asking, will this be a negative return this year? Right here. So will this be a negative return this year for to date? My sister said it's play money. I said, damn, I pay taxes on play money. She didn't know I pay tax on it. Yeah, for starting at 10, yeah, I wanted to see how many people would show up a little earlier on YouTube. I've just been trying to test out what is going on, you know. I could always say oh, well, you suck, bro. Like, you just need to do better, man. Like, people just don't like you, man. They just don't like watching your stuff, man. You're not bringing any value to the timeline, man. And that's not true. It's not true. It's a damn lie. Been doing this too damn long, and I think I'm pretty freaking good at it. So it's, you know, either the people that it's getting to, you know, they don't recognize a good quality wine when they take a sip. Totally kidding. But no, I think the YouTube algorithm's just being a straight up asshole. I think that's just what's happening. That's literally what's happening. So it's not me. I'll be delusional. I'll be delusional and say it's not me. Damn it. Look, we got the hat in the wild. We got the hat in the wild. AI Griff, did you send me your address? I think I see a chat. I won't dox your address. Promise I won't dox your address.
Thank you very much.
So, just so you guys know, you can buy Bitcoin, the people's Bitcoin, on Base. You can buy it on Sol. You can buy it on Barachain. You can buy it on ETH, obviously. But I mean, I'm kind of a fundamentalist, like when it comes to your certain meme coins, like where you should hold them. Like, you should obviously kind of hold them in all different places, but I am one of those where I'm like, you have to hold it on ETH. Like, you just have to hold your memes on ETH. Like, people are like buying this like Wojak on Solana, but it's not like a wormhole like Wojak. It's not like from the team. It's just like people trying to, you know, make a copycat on Solana and run that. And then it's like, no, there's an ETH Wojak, like we talked about. That is the contract lore from with Pepe and Tigger Bitcoin. Leave me alone. So this is a same with Tigger Bitcoin. I like holding my memes on ETH. Maybe I'm just super old school like that. So, just so you guys know where you can buy the funniest meme coin in the world. You can also get it on Coinbase too. If you type in Bitcoin on Coinbase, you can buy it on Coinbase. Did you know that? Pretty fascinating. Well, all right, you Rugrats. I think that's it. Unless you guys have any other pressing things we need to talk about. Oh, the Wojak one? Yeah, it is. It's a pump fund token. And that's fine, but it's like you can be a little bit more original. Like there's like you can be more original. Like the pump fund sometimes is just like so unoriginal. You're just recycling stuff that is as clearly established as what you could just like go and port that one. We've seen when people have done community takeovers and get it to a point where real people are actually buying it. But that's not real people buying the quote Wojak on Sol. I think that is a botted fake market cap crapper that real people aren't buying. That's just yeah. Maybe, hey, I could be wrong, but I don't know. Chart would probably just speak for itself. Makes no sense. It's just like Doge and SHIB. Like SHIB got so many people to buy it because it was what everyone like, okay, this was it. It was like, okay. Just like how Doge, it was like, and Pepe was like rally behind the token. And sometimes it's good to do that. Maybe we only need a couple tokens. We're in the era of launching thousands and thousands of tokens in one day. But we forget about where the money flows and where liquidity and how actually it's better for and more chances of people to actually get out alive when we're only buying 2-3 tokens. Kind of like the GME thing. That's what's like with the SPX 6900. Maybe the movement really does ring true to how we should be focusing on our movement here as the people. We're frustrated. We want it. We know our money's been taken from us. We know inflation's killed us. We know the middle class as a goalpost, you know, to try and get to, like, okay, maybe get into the middle class territory of being able to afford all this stuff on one income. Yeah, it ain't fucking happening. You know, like, so people are pissed off and they're trying to figure out what to do. So they've turned into gamblers. And they don't, and they're buying scratch off tickets, and they're parlaying when the next time their grandma's gonna trip. It's insane. It's damn insane. So, what's the movement? We got to rally behind this new internet money, right? Well, AI Griff. SPX 6900 is a movement of flipping the stock market. Now, obviously, the stock market is worth trillions of dollars. SPX 6900's mission is not attainable. But even getting a quarter of the mission accomplished would be more than ever of never trying to do it at all, right? You know, because you'd be like, why would you ever say that you could flip the stock market? That's not possible, son. And then a bunch of like autistic, crazy internet, like, you know, like matrix programmers come out of the woodwork called the Aeons and coupled with the ticker Bitcoin community. And they go, yeah, let me prove you wrong. We are going to flip the stock market. If only you would just wake up. You're still in fiat cash. But SPX 6900 is a meme coin created on Ethereum that was funnily created out of losing a bunch of money on Ticker Bitcoin's casino. Which is so funny in the whole thing of what's happening here of like, what's the lesson here? Stop gambling. Every time you gamble, you lose. And you need to just believe in something, which is the whole movement of the meme coins in general. Stop gambling. Stop trading. There is no chart. Believe in something. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So the whole thing with people complaining about the Solana trenches is that there's the fact that there's no movement and community that is willing to hold these tokens longer than 24 hours. So what will survive in the end? The movements, the guilds, the things that people will buy if it's in the ground, in the middle, or at the top. They don't care. They're still going to wear the shirt. They're still going to talk about it. They're going to be walking billboards of the brand. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace.